A little bit of lull before the storm. We're checking in now with Jay Rood, the Vice President of Race and Sports at MGM. The main office for Jay is over there at the Mirage. Jay, welcome, my friend. Chaos is about to begin, isn't it?
Yeah, you can say that. That's for sure. Definitely on the Strip here. It's the greatest 4 days of the year.
Hey Jay, it's Vinny. I'm looking at your. By the way, join the rest of us, right? With no sleep, we'll start sleeping in a couple of weeks, right around Easter Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Hey Jay, I want to look at like some of your props. Let's if we could go to a couple of those, the ones that are unique to you guys. Will any number 1 seed be behind at halftime versus a number 16 seed? And of course, we all have fresh in our mind what happened with Virginia a year ago against UMBC. How are they playing that?
Yeah. They play it they take the plus money every year. And last year was first year it cashed in. There's been a couple, 1-point leads at halftime. It looked like it was going to get there for the players a few years ago. But, they definitely they play the yes, the public does. And, I think it was a 20 cents shorter maybe 30 cents shorter on the no. We might see a little bit of a sharp money show up on it. But so far, none of the sharps have shown their hand on this.
There's another good one, Jay. Will all 5 number 5 seeds defeat the number 12 seeds? And it's not unusual to get some upsets here. So the yes is plus 360. You've got the no at minus 480.
Yeah, it's kind of just a simple money line parlay on all the 12s to get that price. But that's the featured match. Usually, a lot of people start talking about the 5 versus 12. Usually it seems like one of them gets an upset there. But so we've had that up for the last few years, and generally the no hits, but every now and then you can catch the yes.
Hey, Jay, Mike Palm from the D here. I was looking at another one of your props. I first looked at this about 10 o'clock this morning, the sum of all the seeds of the teams to make the Final Four at 11.5. When I first looked at it, it was at 160, and then on the way in here, I see it's up to $2 now. How much action are you going to have to take on the under before you might move this to 10.5, or will you just adjust the juice?
I think we'll probably just adjust the juice. We contemplated putting up 10.5 on this, but last year we had a 12.5, and this year's tournament looks to be fairly chalky. But there's been a pretty high seed make its way into the Final Four. Pretty historically over the last 6, 7, 8 years, and even though on paper it looks like this could be dominated by 1s and 2s. A Virginia Tech getting a really good guard back at a 4 could do some damage. Iowa State's rounding back into form. There's going to be a team that pops up that is going to make this bet look a little bit tougher than it does right now on the surface. Obviously, we open at 11.5 flat, and we've gotten pounded on the under, and this is generally a bet that gets pros and Joes on the same side. A lot of underplay at this price right now. I doubt we'll see too many Joes playing it, but we might see them take a shot with the over if they think someone like Buffalo or something like that can make a bit of a deep run.
Hey Jay, in terms of the future book, we hear. So I'll use the South Point as an example. Saw a lot of action early in this, even before the season and during the early part of the season, especially on Duke. I'm sure you probably saw the same thing. But some teams that got some play during the course of the season at Tennessee from 40-1, and of course they got as low as 8. Florida State as high as 100-1, and Houston 150-1. What kind of who are some of the teams where you've got some liabilities we head into this tournament?
Yeah, our biggest liability position is on Virginia. We had Virginia pretty short in our pool leading up into the tournament. The pool that we run all year.
Yes.
We had them about 5-2, 3-1, I think, the last few weeks coming into this. We've reopened the pool. We've got Virginia at 6-1, even though they're a pretty significant liability for us. And we also, Texas Tech, we're seeing a lot of action to them. We had them at 30-1 earlier when we opened the pool last night. We're down to 18-1 on them. We saw a little bit of action to them over the course of the year when they would go on and, a little bit of runs here and there. And then LSU is one that we've got quite a bit of handle to as well. LSU really had a nice run in the SEC. They, I think, won the regular season title, and we've got them at 30-1 now, but I think they were as high as 75-1. So, but we're good as long as Virginia doesn't cut down the nets this year. So I'll take our shot there. I think we've got a lot of high-quality teams that are going to be challenging deep into this tournament.
Jay, you've always had one of the bigger networks here in the state of Nevada. Now you're responsible for some action in New Jersey and in Mississippi as well. This is your first year for that, so you've got to keep track of things in multiple jurisdictions. Talk a little bit about that and how you plan on handling that.
Yeah, so we've done that over the course of the football season here. We're trying to keep things synchronized as much as we possibly can. Obviously, some regional bias shows up on certain scenarios. I think, in Mississippi, we look really bad to LSU in the future book. I would imagine we're going to draw a lot of action to LSU in the individual games, and as the tournament goes on, probably to win their region and maybe a little bit more to win the whole thing down there. As you know, Jersey, a little bit of a different animal there. Can't really bet the local teams. There's not, I think Seton Hall probably the only one that would be of real interest. So, we're just sort of trying to prepare the teams at all the regions to kind of know what to expect. It's going to be 4 days of just, complete madness. And, the first couple of days, everyone's excited. Hey, this is fun. And then, the ticket writers and the supervisors, they get tired of working those 12, 14-hour shifts. They start looking at you sideways. And, by the time Sunday rolls around, you're trying to slink out the back without, getting mobbed by some of your employees, because it takes a toll the 4 days, as you know, Vinny.
Yes, I do, buddy. You're right about that.
Jay, the play-in games in Dayton on Tuesday and Wednesday, do they attract a flurry of activity? I know that people are going to be arriving, and I'm imagining they want to pull the trigger. They want to get it started, and so we've got North Carolina Central, North Dakota State, Fairleigh Dickinson, Prairie View, Belmont, Temple, Arizona State, St. John's. Will those 4 games attract good betting action here?
Yeah, they absolutely will. The first couple of years, everybody was sort of like gauging and trying to figure out what this was all going to be about. But there's a big group of people that show up, on Tuesday, start the week early, and they've made like basically a whole weeks-long vacation out of this tournament at this point. And we'll see good numbers to those games. Right now I just kind of scan through it as you're looking at it, and we basically have decisions at this point on those games that would rival kind of what we do on a Saturday afternoon already on some pretty good games. So I'm expecting the handle to be really strong this year. As you know, these 4 days probably add up to here in Nevada to be more than we handled during the Super Bowl, because, this event really is focused on betting, right? The Super Bowl is more kind of a social event. You're here for, the game, and, that takes about 4, 5, 6 hours out of the day. And, there's a lot of other things going on that weekend. You're here. From, morning to midnight, you're watching basketball, you're betting basketball, you're eating, breathing basketball. So it's not for the faint-hearted for sure, but it's an awful lot of fun as well for a lot of people that have been doing it for years and years and years.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Jay. Is my friend Yolanda still over there, by the way, at the Mirage?
Yoli is still here. She's still pulling all the strings in the back. You don't dare step out of line. She'll keep you straight. Yeah, she's by far, she's the most important woman that's ever been in Nevada racing sports history, and should probably get a spot in the Gaming Hall of Fame one of these years.
There's no question. I've gone through a lot of tournaments with her over there at the Mirage back in the day. Anyway, Jay, thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate the update from all the MGM casinos, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you so much. Anytime, guys. Good luck,
Jay.
everybody.
All right, Mr. Flatter has an update, and we will keep going here. Bracketology. Everybody plays. Everybody enters one bracket, don't they? Back live, VSiN.com, Sirius XM 204.